Welcome to the Bible. Today, we're covering Genesis 7 to 13 here on Sacred Text Daily. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. Now, let's start the audio Bible. And the Lord said to Noah, "Take all your family and go into the ark. For you only in this generation have I seen to be upright. Of every clean beast you will take 7 males and 7 females, and of the beasts which are not clean, 2, the male and his female, and of the birds of the air, 7 males and 7 females, so that their seed may still be living on the face of the earth. For after 7 days I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, for the destruction of every living thing which I have made on the face of the earth." And Noah did everything which said the Lord he was to do. And Noah was 600 years old when the waters came flowing over all the earth. And Noah, with his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives, went into the ark because of the flowing of the waters, of clean beasts, and of beasts which are not clean, and of birds, and of everything which goes on the earth, in twos, male and female. They went into the ark with Noah, as God had said. And after the 7 days, the waters came over all the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, all the fountains of the great deep came bursting through, and the windows of heaven were open, and rain came down on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On the same day Noah, with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, his sons, and his wife and his sons' wives, went into the ark, and with them every sort of beast and cattle, and every sort of thing which goes on the earth, and every sort of bird. They went with Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Male and female of all flesh went in, as God had said, and the ark was shut by the Lord. And for 40 days the waters were over all the earth, and the waters were increased so that the ark was lifted up high over the earth. And the waters overcame everything, and were increased greatly on the earth, and the ark was resting on the face of the waters. And the waters overcame everything on the earth, and all the mountains under heaven were covered. The waters went 15 cubits higher, till all the mountains were covered. And destruction came on every living thing moving on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts, and everything which went on the earth, and every man. Everything on the dry land, in which was the breath of life, came to its end. Every living thing on the face of all the earth, man and cattle, and things moving on the face of the earth, and birds of the air, came to destruction. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark were kept from death. And the waters were over the earth 150 days. And God kept Noah in mind, and all the living things, and the cattle which were with him in the ark. And God sent a wind over the earth, and the waters went down. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were shut, and the rain from heaven was stopped. And the waters went slowly back from the earth, and at the end of 150 days the waters were lower. And on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. And still the waters went on falling, till on the 1st day of the 10th month the tops of the mountains were seen. Then, after 40 days, through the open window of the ark which he had made, Noah sent out a raven, which went this way and that till the waters were gone from the earth. And he sent out a dove, to see if the waters had gone from the face of the earth. But the dove saw no resting place for her foot, and came back to the ark, for the waters were still over all the earth. And he put out his hand, and took her into the ark. And after waiting another 7 days, he sent the dove out again, and the dove came back at evening. And in her mouth was an olive leaf broken off, so Noah was certain that the waters had gone down on the earth. And after 7 days more, he sent the dove out again, but she did not come back to him. And in the 601st year, on the 1st day of the 1st month, the waters were dry on the earth. And Noah took the cover off the ark, and saw that the face of the earth was dry. And on the 27th day of the 2nd month the earth was dry. And God said to Noah, "Go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and your sons' wives. Take out with you every living thing which is with you, birds and cattle, and everything which goes on the earth, so that they may have offspring and be fertile, and be increased on the earth." And Noah went out with his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives, and every beast and bird, and every living thing of every sort which goes on the earth, went out of the ark. And Noah made an altar to the Lord. And from every clean beast and bird he made burnt offerings on the altar. And when the sweet smell came up to the Lord, he said in his heart, "I will not again put a curse on the earth because of man, for the thoughts of man's heart are evil from his earliest days. Never again will I send destruction on all living things as I have done. While the earth goes on, seed time, and the getting in of the grain, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, will not come to an end." And God gave his blessing to Noah and his sons, and said, "Be fertile, and have increase, and make the earth full. And the fear of you will be strong in every beast of the earth, and every bird of the air, everything which goes on the land, and all the fishes of the sea are given into your hands. Every living and moving thing will be food for you. I give them all to you, as before I gave you all green things. But flesh with the life, blood in it you may not take for food. And for your blood, which is your life, will I take payment. From every beast I will take it. And from every man will I take payment for the blood of his brother. Man. Whoever takes a man's life, by man will his life be taken, because God made man in his image. And now, be fertile, and have increase, have offspring on the earth, and become great in number." And God said to Noah and to his sons, "Truly, I will make my agreement with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living thing with you. All birds and cattle, and every beast of the earth, which comes out of the ark with you. And I will make my agreement with you. Never again will all flesh be cut off by the waters. Never again will the waters come over all the earth for its destruction. And God said, This is the sign of the agreement which I make between me and you and every living thing with you for all future generations. I will put my bow in the cloud, and it will be for a sign of the agreement between me and the earth. And whenever I make a cloud come over the earth, the bow will be seen in the cloud, and I will keep in mind the agreement between me and you and every living thing. And never again will there be a great flow of waters, causing destruction to all flesh. And the bow will be in the cloud, and looking on it. I will keep in mind the eternal agreement between God and every living thing on the earth. And God said to Noah, This is the sign of the agreement which I have made between me and all flesh on the earth. And the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from them all the earth was peopled. In those days Noah became a farmer, and he made a vine garden. And he took of the wine of it, and was overcome by drink, and he was uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father unclothed, and gave news of it to his two brothers outside. And Shem, Japheth, took a robe, and putting it on their backs, went in with their faces turned away, and put it over their father, so that they might not see him unclothed. And, awaking from his wine, Noah saw what his youngest son had done to him, and he said, Cursed be Canaan, let him be a servant of servants to his brothers. And he said, Praise to the Lord, the God of Shem, let Canaan be his servant. May God make Japheth great, and let his living place be in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. And Noah went on living 350 years after the great flow of waters. All the years of his life were 950, and he came to his end. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These are the sons which they had after the great flow of waters. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Gog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshech and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Riphath and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha and Tarshish, the Kittim and the Dodanim. From these came the nations of the sea, lands, with their different families and languages. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, and Put and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Sheba and Havilah and Sabta and Ramah and Sabteka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba and Dedan. And Cush was the father of Nimrod, who was the first of the great men of the earth. He was a very great bowman, so that there is a saying, like Nimrod, a very great bowman. And at the first, his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went out into Assyria, building Nineveh with its wide streets and Calah, and reasoned between Nineveh and Calah, which is a very great town. And Mizraim was the father of the Ludim and Anamim, and Lahabim and Naphtuhim. and Pathruzim, and Casluim, and Caphtorim, from whom came the Philistines. And Canaan was the father of Zidon, who was his oldest son, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinnite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. After that, the families of the Canaanites went far and wide in all directions, their country stretching from Zidon to Gaza, in the direction of Gerar, and to Lasha, in the direction of Sodom, and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zeboim. All these, with their different families, languages, lands, and nations, are the offspring of Ham. And Shem, the older brother of Japheth, the father of the children of Eber, had other sons in addition. These are the sons of Shem: Elam, and Asher, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. And the sons of Aram: Yuz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. And Eber had 2 sons. The name of the one was Peleg, because in his time the peoples of the earth became separate, and his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan was the father of Almodad, and Sheleph, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadoram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And their country was from Mesha, in the direction of Sephir, the mountain of the east. These, with their families, and their languages, and their lands, and their nations, are the offspring of Shem. These are the families of the sons of Noah, in the order of their generations and their nations. From these came all the nations of the earth after the great flow of waters. And all the earth had one language and one tongue. And it came about that in their wandering from the east, they came to a stretch of flat country in the land of Shinar, and there they made their living place. And they said one to another, Come, let us make bricks, burning them well. And they had bricks for stone, putting them together with sticky earth. And they said, Come, let us make a town, and a tower whose top will go up as high as heaven, and let us make a great name for ourselves, so that we may not be wanderers over the face of the earth. And the Lord came down to see the town and the tower which the children of men were building. And the Lord said, See, they are all one people, and have all one language, and this is only the start of what they may do. And now it will not be possible to keep them from any purpose of theirs. Come, let us go down and take away the sense of their language, so that they will not be able to make themselves clear to one another. So the Lord God sent them away into every part of the earth, and they gave up building their town. So it was named Babel, because there the Lord took away the sense of all languages, and from there the Lord sent them away over all the face of the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he became the father of Arpachshad, 2 years after the great flow of waters, and after the birth of Arpachshad. Shem went on living for 500 years, and had sons and daughters. And Arpachshad was 35 years old when he became the father of Shelah. And after the birth of Shelah, Arpachshad went on living for 403 years, and had sons and daughters. And Shelah was 30 years old when he became the father of Eber. And after the birth of Eber, Shelah went on living for 403 years, and had sons and daughters. And Eber was 34 years old when he became the father of Peleg. And after the birth of Peleg, Eber went on living for 430 years, and had sons and daughters. And Peleg was 30 years old when he became the father of Reu. And after the birth of Reu, Peleg went on living for 209 years, and had sons and daughters. And Reu was 32 years old when he became the father of Serug. And after the birth of Serug, Reu went on living for 207 years, and had sons and daughters. And Serug was 30 years old when he became the father of Nahor. And after the birth of Nahor, Serug went on living for 200 years, and had sons and daughters. And Nahor was 29 years old when he became the father of Terah. And after the birth of Terah, Nahor went on living for 119 years, and had sons and daughters. And Terah was 70 years old when he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. These are the generations of Terah. Terah was the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran was the father of Lot. And death came to Haran when he was with his father Terah in the land of his birth, Chaldees, Ur of the Chaim. And Abram and Nahor took wives for themselves. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah. And Sarai had no child. And Terah took Abram, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, the wife of his son Abram, and they went out from Ur of the Chaldees to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran, and were there for some time. And all the years of Terah's life were 205, and Terah came to his end in Haran. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go out from your country, and from your family, and from your father's house, into the land to which I will be your guided. And I will make of you a great nation, blessing you and making your name great, and you will be a blessing. To them who are good to you will I give blessing, and on him who does you wrong will I put my curse. And you will become a name of blessing to all the families of the earth." So Abram went as the Lord had said to him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he went away from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their goods and the servants which they had got in Haran. And they went out to go to the land of Canaan. And Abram went through the land till he came to Shechem, to the holy tree of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were still living in the land. And the Lord came to Abram and said, "I will give all this land to your seed." Then Abram made an altar there to the Lord, who had let himself be seen by him. And moving on from there to the mountain on the east of Beth-el, he put up his tent, having Beth El on the west and Ai on the east. And there he made an altar and gave worship to the name of the Lord. And he went on, journeying still to the south. And because there was little food to be had in that land, he went down into Egypt. Now, when he came near to Egypt, he said to Sarai, his wife, truly, you are a fair woman and beautiful to the eye, and I am certain that when the men of Egypt see you, they will say, this is his wife, and they will put me to death and keep you. Say, then, that you are my sister, and so it will be well with me because of you, and my life will be kept safe on your account. And so it was that when Abram came into Egypt, the men of Egypt, looking on the woman, saw that she was fair. And Pharaoh's great men, having seen her, said words in praise of her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into Pharaoh's house. And because of her, he was good to Abram, and he had sheep and oxen and asses, and men servants and women servants, and camels. And the Lord sent great troubles on Pharaoh's house because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Then Pharaoh sent for Abram and said, what have you done to me? Why did you not say that she was your wife? Why did you say that she was your sister? So that I took her for my wife now. Take your wife and go on your way. And Pharaoh gave orders to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and all he had. And Abram went up out of Egypt with his wife and all he had, and Lot with him, and they came into the south. Now Abram had great wealth of cattle, and silver, and gold. And traveling on from the south, he came to Beth-el, to the place where his tent had been before, between Beth-el and Ai, to the place where he had made his first altar. And there Abram gave worship to the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with him, had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land was not wide enough for the two of them. Their property was so great that there was not room for them together. And there was an argument between the keepers of Abram's cattle and the keepers of Lot's cattle. At that time the Canaanites and Perizzites were still living in the land. Then Abram said to Lot, let there be no argument between me and you, and between my herdmen and your herdmen, for we are brothers. Is not all the land before you? Then let us go our separate ways. If you go to the left, I will go to the right, or if you take the right, I will go to the left. And Lot, lifting up his eyes, and looking in the valley of Jordan, saw that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord had sent destruction on Sodom and Gomorrah. It was like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, on the way to Zoar. So Lot took for himself all the valley of Jordan, and went to the east, and they were parted from one another. Abram went on living in the land of Canaan, and Lot went to the lowland towns, moving his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were evil, and great sinners before the Lord. And the Lord had said to Abram, after Lot was parted from him, from this place, where you are, take a look to the north, and to the south, to the east, and to the west. For all the land which you see, I will give to you, and to your seed forever. And I will make your children like the dust of the earth, so that if the dust of the earth may be numbered, then will your children be numbered. Come, go through all the land from one end to the other, for I will give it to you. And Abram, moving his tent, came and made his living place by the holy tree of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and made an altar there to the Lord. We've reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Below, you'll find the next video for you to choose and continue. God bless you.